So who's worried about his three-cone time now, huh? What's up, everybody? The game ended about 5 minutes ago. I'm just waiting for the Q13 post-game show to come on. And 17-9 Seahawks once again. Second time we played the Eagles this year, and the game ended with that score. And there's certainly a lot that needs to be said about this team and the way they're playing and their chances next week and going forward, maybe even beyond that. But I got to give it up to Russell Wilson. He had a monster game today. The only thing you can say about Wilson today is his deep ball was off a little bit, and I think a big part of that was weather affected, so I'm not tripping on that. Big shout out to DK Metcalf. Monster game from him, obviously. I think he set the all-time playoff debut record for receiving yards. Lockett, solid. Not a huge game by him, but he did what he needed to do. David Moore, he made two big plays out there, and he's a guy I've been harsh on, but he made two big plays today. I give it up to this pass blocking, which I thought for most of the game was pretty phenomenal. As good as I can expect from this MASH unit of offensive linemen. They did great in pass blocking, only giving up one sack and a handful of pressures and hits, but they allowed the passing game to work throughout most of this game. You got to give it up to Bradley McDougald as well. He got hit with two penalties in this game, holding on Zach Ertz twice, but I thought he bounced back with some very good plays in this game. He had a lot of tackles. He had some tackles in the backfield. He had a sack. He was all over the place today. You can see how having Quandre Diggs back there frees him up to be the player that he wants to be. I'll shout out, Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. I thought they played fine. Clowney, I'll talk more about Clowney later, but he made some big plays down the stretch against the run, and he had the game-clinching sack, or basically game-clinching sack. And those guys, I shout them out because they were monsters today. And they are the reason why, when the game ended, we had the lead. As for this win, as for this game, I don't take very much away from this. This doesn't prove much to me. So, really, when Carson Wentz left this game with that concussion, the game should have basically been over. That should have been basically like, oh, okay, we got nothing to worry about. And somehow the Eagles have a chance to tie the game with less than 2 minutes to go. So that's not okay. A lot of people you can blame for that. The defense, while they were able to hold the Eagles out of the end zone, got carved up by Josh McCown. He lit their asses up. 40-year-old backup quarterback who I think he was out of football coaching high school until very recently with a limp, and we could not stop him between the 20s. Matt Schaub is one thing, guys. This was ridiculous how good Josh McCown looked against this team. He was evading sacks. He was moving in the pocket. He made a couple plays down the field. He drew a couple big pass interference calls on Trey Flowers. And Trey, we're going to have a talk about that. That was the first one. I don't know if it was a good call or not. The second one definitely was. Yeah, that's not good. But Josh McCown basically had as good a game as you could ever ask for from a 40-year-old backup playing with a limp. So yeah, I don't want to be too negative after a playoff win on the road, but my God, guys, I don't know how Pete Carroll just isn't embarrassed about how bad this defense is to the point where he doesn't fire somebody just emotionally, I don't understand. We got a team with no quarterback. We got a team with no receivers. We got a team with a makeshift offensive line. In this game, Miles Sanders got hurt at one point. I guess he didn't really miss very many plays, but he got hurt at one point. And somehow this game is still dramatic at the end. So I'm not taking a ton away from this win. I'm happy we got it, but I'm not freaking out about it at all. This team still has a lot to prove to me. And like I said, there are guys on this team that went out there today, balled out. I give them a ton of credit. The Wilsons and the Metcalfs and the Moores and Lockett's and the Clowneys and McDougald's, and there were guys on this team that came to play today, but this team still has a lot to prove to me. But we get another week. We get a reprieve. We didn't seem to lose anybody overly important today. The only guy we lost was Ziggy Ansah, who honestly has no gas left in the tank anyway, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say. He's just got nothing left. We have the opportunity to get Dwayne Brown and Mike Upati back this week, maybe Malik Turner. So things can get better, but the main hang-up still has to be this coaching staff. I know I'm a broken record with some of this stuff, but my God, we had Russell Wilson playing one of his best games of the season today, given the weather. I mean, he missed several deep balls today because I think he didn't want to let the wind catch it, so he was keeping the trajectory low. But we insist on running those inside trap plays to Travis Homer for a 1-yard gain if we're lucky. Just run the ball right into Fletcher Cox, and it doesn't matter how many times it doesn't work. Just keep doing it over and over and over again. We can't afford to give away plays like that against better teams. The Eagles, we're lucky they were so banged up in this game and so wounded, so talent deficient, we were able to win, even though we were giving away plays like that. Because with the exception of maybe Marshawn's touchdown run, every time we ran the ball up the gut, nothing happened. Our running backs today ended the game with like 1 yard per carry on average. I think the two running backs between them had 17 carries for 19 yards, and 10 of those yards were on a pitch play to the outside. So nothing doing in the middle, but keep running it up there. Keep plowing it up the middle, right into Fletcher Cox. Don't worry, Joey Hunt will learn how to block him this time. The running plays on 1st and 20, the running plays on 2nd and 10, the giving up on these possessions, we escaped. We got this win today because honestly, the Eagles didn't have the talent to keep up with us, but I don't know if we can sustain it against a better team that will make us pay a little bit more. I mean, today we were playing a team with a very mediocre at best secondary and a very low amount of talent on offense, so we were able to get away with some of this. We got carried by the likes of Metcalf, got carried by the likes of, I'll throw McDougald in there too because I thought he played a great game today. Both linebackers, some of these guys elevate the team above where they by all rights should be. And I don't know. I'm happy we won. I'm happy some guys really showed up out there. I'm happy we were able to come out on top. But this game should not have come down to a 4th down stop inside the 15-yard line with 2 minutes left. We should have had this game put away well before then. We should have been scoring points in that 4th quarter. And look, the run blocking today was atrocious. That is somewhat on the players. I understand. It is somewhat on the players for missing some tackles and not being in their position to, fill gaps in run blocking. But a lot of this really just has to come back to, why are you putting your players in position to make those mistakes? Why is Travis Homer getting those carries up the middle? Why is anybody getting carries up the middle for this team when we don't have Mike Upati and we're trying to block Fletcher Cox with Joey Hunt and Mike Upati? Who is messaging me over and over? Jesus Christ. People are fucking annoying sometimes. Anyway, Seahawks win. We got the legend of DK Metcalf continues to grow, and I love it. Legend of Russell Wilson grows. He had a big game today. I see some things I like, but I also see some things holding us back. Hopefully, we get some guys back for Green Bay, and we can see an even better product. Today was good enough to win, but if you guys think I'm going to be freaking out about a game we won by 1 score against a team with a backup 40-year-old quarterback, it's not going to happen. Refs were terrible in this game. Clowney and Reed probably both got away with roughing the passer. Thought the Eagles got away with a pass interference on Metcalf in the end zone, and they got away with an obvious offsides flag. The offensive pass interference on Hollister was garbage too, but I mean Hollister had a bad game today. 2 false starts. Give me a break. But hey, I said I wanted to play the Eagles in the playoffs because they had so many problems. We didn't have to play a great game to win, and that's exactly what happened. We did not play a great game, but enough players played great for us to win. That's all you can say about this one. All right, so I'm probably going to stream later tonight on YouTube. For those of you who wanted to know about that, I'm going to probably play Yakuza a little bit tonight while I'm streaming on YouTube, and we can talk about this game. We can talk about the future, talk about Green Bay next week. But I'm happy. I feel like we left a lot of stuff on the field there today, but what we had was enough to win. And with that, go Hawks. See you guys later.